The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online from the hottest issues to trends. For our daily social media minute, we're joined by Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
The last real day of this long extended holiday.
Ah, no. That was short. That was really short.
It's funny because leading up to we thought, ooh, a 6-day weekend. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And then it's over before you know it.
Well, we still have a full day ahead.
That's true.
That's the good thing about having a morning radio show, right? For you.
That's right. And it's going to be a cool, breezy day. So I love it. Okay, Eric, let's jump into our first buzzword of the day. So the Asian Games is still happening as South Korea trailing in second place as far as a medal tally is concerned. Now, unfortunately, yesterday, oh man, I don't even know what to label this. A slip up, a most unfortunate incident where kind of a pre-celebration cost one team their gold medal.
That's right. Time and time again, we are reminded that in sports, it's not really over until it's really over. And, in that respect, South Korean roller skater, Jung, he committed a cardinal sin, I guess, of sports. He celebrated too early, and his mistake ended up costing the South Korean team an Asian Games gold medal. Now, Jung was the anchor for his three-man team in the men's 3,000-meter relay final, and he thought he had beaten Hwang Yulin from Taiwan. And so what happened was towards the end of the finish line, he sort of stopped racing and he raised his arms to celebrate. And right then, the Taiwanese skater, he sort of lunged forward with his leg across the line first. And he ended up winning by 1/100th of a second.
Oh, I can't even imagine what it's like to be these athletes. Okay. So I have no doubt that it's a moment that he'll be playing in his mind over and over again in the days and years to come. Now, it's a valuable lesson, but a really costly one at that.
Yeah, you know what, Jung, his expression, I mean, it hurts me to just think
Yeah,
about
it hurts us.
Yeah, right? He told the press after the medal ceremony that he had made a big mistake, that he didn't come at full speed to the finish line, that he left his guard down too early, and that he was very sorry. And he apologized to his teammates and to all the fans that supported the team. And he talked about how everyone worked so hard together for this and that it was all his fault. And none of them looked happy standing on the podium receiving their medals. It was a stark contrast to the female South Korean team who, again, they won silver as well, but they were all smiles, but yeah, it's a moment that we won't forget.
And the thing is, I mean, of course, it is about competing at the highest level and winning the medal. But this gold medal is even more valuable for some of these young athletes.
Yeah, male South Korean athletes that win a gold medal, they're given a number of incentives, including exemption from military service. I mean, all able-bodied South Korean men have to serve, right? But this still has to hurt.
Okay. On the other hand, one athlete came so close to finish second, but won gold. Let's talk about the Taiwanese roller skater Hwang Yulin.
He said that it was a miracle that he won. He said that his coach had drummed it into him that you never give up until the very end. He realized the South Korean team were celebrating, but he said that he wanted to show them that while they were celebrating, he was still fighting. And he said he wasn't even sure whether he had crossed the finish line in time. In fact, he even thought that it was such a shame that he was just a little bit short. And then the results came up on the screen, and he realized he had won by 1/100th of a second.
Okay, it hurts for one team. It's a miracle for the other. That's how the story goes. You're right. This is gonna go down in history books.
Yeah.
And I just feel the pain for these South Korean
Same here.
athletes.
Oh boy.
Oh man, stop giving them such a hard time. I saw the comment section. It's so
I know.
mean.
They're so mean. I mean, there's nobody in the world who feels worse than, the
Yeah,
athlete himself. So I think we should
exactly.
give him a break.
Give him a break. It
Yeah.
happens. It happens. All right.
Yes.
Let's move on to our second buzzword of the day. Now, when it comes to these schools in rural areas, the big question is how do you stay in operation? We're even talking about elementary, middle, and high schools in the city of Seoul, this dense, crowded city of Seoul facing potential closure. So, how do these rural schools stay relevant? Include nature.
Yeah. So this one school in Ganghwado, it's been around since 1908.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's what 115, it has 115 years of history, long traditions. However, by 2009, the enrollment had gone down to just 29 students.
Mm,
Now, according to the Ministry of Education guidelines, schools with fewer than 30 students are expected to shut down within 5 years. And that seemed to be the fate for this one school, Yangdo 초등학교, Yangdo Elementary School. The school had once thrived with over 700 students, but again, a decrease in school age population was inevitable because of low birth rates and a rising trend of rural to urban migration.
mm,
And the school nearly closed its doors in 2011
mm,
when total enrollment dropped to just 23. Now, this downward trajectory sort of changed when then principal Lee Seok-in came into office. This was back in 2010. And he recognized the unique charm and the untapped potential of rural schools, especially his school. So he envisioned this educational program that sort of invited children to immerse themselves
mm.
in the natural environment of Ganghwado Island. And it was this initiative that saved the school basically at the end of the
Ah.
day,
The school's aim is so beautiful
right?
to help students discover true happiness and value through firsthand
That's right.
experiences. Can you tell us a little bit more about this nature-focused school?
Yes, so this the program that this principal in the school introduced, it was dubbed Nature School,
Mm,
and it opened its doors not only to the students of the school, but also to those from students from other schools around the area, and also students from urban schools as well, as far as Seoul, Incheon, the more metropolitan areas, and students that applied would spend about a week per season.
mm.
They experience the beauty and all the natural resources of Ganghwado Island, including the vast mud flats. It's just a huge playground for these kids, right? And the activities range from fishing, planting rice, kimchi making, drying persimmons, just playing in the forest, observing, watching birds, migratory birds,
Mm,
and walking along the island's scenic trails,
mm.
things like that.
I've seen parents, some extraordinary parents, sending their kids abroad for just this nature school
Yeah.
experiences. It's better if it's close to home, quite literally. Now, parents must have noticed changes in their children, some positive
Yeah.
ones.
Especially the children from the city areas, they're used to spending most of their after school hours in hagwons, right? Academies. So they definitely noticed the changes in their children. They became livelier. They just had that energy about them they didn't notice before in their kids. So some of these parents, they decided to transfer their kids altogether. They moved to the Ganghwado Island to send
Wow.
their kids to this school.
Okay.
And yeah, students from, Seoul, Incheon, the Gyeonggi areas have consistently applied for this program. And the student body count
Mm.
from just 23 in 2011 rose to 72 in 2021 within a decade. And the number of students at the school currently remains stable.
It's funny because we've urbanized for decades and there's a cost to it. And parents are realizing, okay, my child is happier in this environment. And that's a beautiful thing. Check.
Yeah, but living in the countryside obviously comes with its own set of challenges. Like, parents say they've completely given up on delivery food, for example. Most problems in the city can be solved with, one click of their smartphone.
Yep.
So things are inconvenient, but they've come to appreciate the small things in life, they say, and it's made everybody that much happier.
Okay. It comes at a cost because nothing is free, but it's worth it, is what some of these parents are
That's right.
saying. And that's how one school in Ganghwado survived.
Mhm.
All right. Let's get to this final story of the day. Gyeonggi-do Province has introduced emergency vehicle priority system for a quick and efficient response. What kind of system does this entail?
So, as we all know, in emergencies, literally every second counts, right? So last month in Paju, in Gyeonggi-do Province, a demonstration took place. It showcased this novel regional emergency vehicle priority traffic signal system. And Gyeonggi-do Province is the first in all of Korea to adopt this system.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about this demonstration?
Yeah,
What's different? Because we already have sirens in place. Does it,
right.
maybe double down on, does it have different kinds of siren?
So, what stands out about this demonstration was the absence of delays for
Okay.
both the fire truck and ambulance, like emergency vehicles, and traffic signals. This is thanks to participation from the Gyeonggi-do Traffic Information Center. So, the center analyzed real-time traffic signal information and ambulance location data. And this resulted in timely priority signals issued by both Paju City and Goyang City. So this coordination from both parties allowed the emergency vehicles to pass through at the traffic lights to reach their destinations in time and uninterrupted.
So these so-called priority signal systems exist in various localities here.
Yeah.
What's different about this pilot case?
Yes. So, if one vehicle, for example, say is passing from one specific jurisdiction to another, they can cause challenges, right? The emergency vehicle transitions between different areas. This happens a lot.
Right.
But, when different, jurisdictions, they
Okay.
cooperate to make this happen, then, it becomes less of a problem. It becomes, much more efficient for these emergency vehicles to pass from one region, city to another without being hindered.
Smooth transition
Yes,
without
exactly.
interruptions. How much travel time is estimated to be cut down by this brand new system?
Good question. The most important question, actually. It cuts down travel time by up to 50%, giving priority to these emergency vehicles. Up to 50%. That's amazing.
Okay, if we can have this system up and running, maybe
Yeah.
in many, many different jurisdictions, it might be even more effective.
And that's the plan. They plan to expand the system to more cities. They plan to expand it to 5 more cities in
Okay.
Anyang, Gunpo, Gwangmyeong, Uiwang, and Gwacheon by the end of this year.
Okay. Thank you very much, Erica, for today's coverage. Have a good
Pleasure.
one. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.